So how's the tone in your home? Are you hearing happy, cooperative sounds? Or maybe whining and complaining? Sonia, I've heard you talk about the difference between a parent being a thermometer and a thermostat and how that affects the tone of the home. Could you help unpack that for us?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Several years ago, my husband asked me that question, and it made such a big impact on my life. He's really good at those word pictures that just stick in your head. And the whole difference is you think about a thermometer, it reflects what is going on around it. So if the temperature rises, that thermometer's temperature rises too. And if the temperature drops to freezing, then that thermometer's temperature drops as well. It's just following, reacting to what's going on around it. But a thermostat is different. A thermostat regulates what is going on around it. So if the temperature rises and gets hotter and hotter, the thermostat will kick in and bring temperatures back down to a comfortable level. And it's the same way if temperatures get freezing, the thermostat kicks in and warms things up, just trying to keep everything on a good, even keel. And that is, when you think about the atmosphere of your home, that's really what your goal is, that as the parent, you can help regulate that atmosphere. And when tempers rise, you can help bring it down and talk everything through and make sure that things stay at a comfortable level. And if things get frigid, you can help warm things back up again. It's not an easy task to try and stay even keeled, but I think it's a big part of educating our children for life, not just academics.
Can you give us an example of what that might look like?
Well, for example, if you have little ones, if you have preschoolers, and something doesn't go right and they are out of sorts, you can see those storm clouds rising in their faces, it would be helpful if you can, before it gets into a full-blown eruption, if you can change their thoughts, help them think about something else, something pleasant, rather than how they've been wronged. That can be a good way to ward that off, right? Cut it off at the pass, as it were, before it blows up and affects everybody in the house. If you have an older child, you might need to take them aside and sit down and talk with them. And it's all about, you can't control someone else's emotions, of course. But if you can keep yours under control, that is going to set a good tone. If someone is starting to get angry, if you can answer in a soft voice, a kind voice, that can so often turn aside that person's anger and just reset a good, even temper in your home.
That sounds really practical and helpful. Do you have suggestions for ways that parents can help develop that kind of mentality for themselves? Being together all day, every day, it's sometimes hard to separate yourself from all the emotions that are going on in the home. Do you have some tips about how parents can do a good job with that?
That is hard when you're together all the time. So some things that come to mind would be, try and have some time where everybody is in their own space. Even if that's just you're in that chair and I'm in this chair, just give me some space, for a few minutes. I read about one mom who she had, I think, 10 kids, and she would put her apron over her head when she needed some time alone. That was the kids' cue. It was like, okay, mama needs some alone time here. Just so you can have a few minutes to collect yourself, to think things through. I think gratefulness is another key that's going to help you keep an even keel. If you can think about the things that you are grateful for, that's going to help immensely with your keeping a sweet, even temper. And then just remembering to give grace to those around you and to yourself. We're not going to be perfect in this. Of course not. We're all human. But we can keep trying. And when we get off a little bit, you know, if our temperature starts to react and go up too, if we can catch ourselves and say, okay, no, let's try that over. Let's have a do-over there. That
Hmm.
can help us as well.
I like that. I like that idea of a family do-over, because parents need do-over moments just like kids do. We're all learning, we're developing habits together, and when mistakes are made, we can also ask forgiveness for ourselves and start over again to reset that thermometer. So thank you for that. That's a great tip.